Hi, I'm Chitra Iyer, CEO and financial coach at MFA. We are one of the most respected, life-centered, goal-based investment planning firms in India. Today I'm speaking to our client, Mr. Chaitanya Sathe, who we all look up to and the entire senior corporate executive community looks up to. He is the topmost professional today and is a wonderful human being who we've been blessed to interact with over the years.
Thank you.
So, welcome you to our Money Matters series. So, sir, I would like to start this interview with asking you, how has your journey with money been?
Sure.
What were your financial challenges? What did you go through?
Thank you, Chitra, for that introduction. From early days, we were never short of money. We had money when it was needed. And the kind of investments in those days were savings account in the bank, fixed deposits. We would hear some relatives here and there having investment in shares, but the usual talk always was that that's very risky. So don't go there. So as a family, we always continued, having our money in the bank or in fixed deposits. And that's how we grew. And that's something which has had an impact on me till I started working. And when I interacted with diverse set of people who again came from different backgrounds and who also looked at money differently, looked at handling money differently, it started a thought process saying, why not, do something about this, or why not also follow them? And this is where the train of thought started towards investment. This looks something good, but it needs to be handled the right way. But when I discussed with my parents at home, their thought process was clear. Don't go there. If you have additional money, put it in FDs. So it continued. And it also made me continue because I was traveling a lot. And I didn't have somebody to guide me how to invest. After about 12 years, I said to my organization that enough of traveling. I want to be here. And that is where I took the first step to look at investments. So this has been my journey.
Amazing. Yeah. So what now is your entire thought process in terms of managing money, and how has it developed?
Oh, it was a great decision. But what was experienced at that point of time was somebody approaches you and says, why not invest here? And you have some spare money on hand and said, okay, fine, invest. Somebody else approaches you with some connect from somewhere saying, can you invest in this portfolio? So when I hear about it, but I didn't have much time to really look at that portfolio and understand as to how worthwhile it would be or how long should I be invested. But even then I started doing it. And at least I felt that my money was being put to proper use. It will help me, going forward. But I was still unhappy because I required somebody who would give me my space, at the same time help me invest better. The investments were doing okay, but there was no connect between any of these investments. Just put money here, just putting money there. Absolutely. There was no basis, there was no foundation, there was no thought process. And that was something that needed to be brought in terms of how I invest, where I invest. And that is what I first, felt when Amar started speaking to me and he told me of his idea of MFA. And that is where MFA came in. 17 years ago. It has really changed the way I look at investments, changed the way I look at money management. I never really thought, till I settled back in India and said enough of traveling, I never really thought that I could invest big time. The way it was managed, the way it was defined, and the way it continues.
Right.
It is hats off to MFA. I will anytime say that they gave me that comfort which helped me make decisions better and which helped me continue. And it has nothing to do with my rapport with Amar, because that's something different. It has to do with the team, and I feel so comfortable working with everyone. The other thing is that I am in my organization for 30 plus years. And I enjoy working with people who are long time in any organization. So see, that is the difference.
True.
And we have seen the advantage of people being long term in an organization.
Absolutely.
It is a different way of working because I see that same value system.
True.
I see the same way of thinking and I see that same personal touch, which makes a big difference.
Beautiful. Sir, a lot of the corporate executives, again, they feel that we have a whole lot of EPF, we have our own PPF, and then, of course, as you said, real estate is always there. Apart from that, there are people with obviously buying the bank FDs and huge ESOPs. Sometimes it's just one stock that governs maybe 80% of the portfolio.
Yes.
You know, and there is that passion because it's your own company, you build that business, you participated in it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just wanted to hear your thoughts on, do you think there's anything that could go amiss here, or, you know, is there any alarm there, you know, when you have so much riding on, say, a single stock?
Yes, there is. But it is difficult. You know, you work there, you see what's happening, you see the growth, both in terms of people, revenue, you know, your new business domains that you add, new capability that you create. And you know, the feeling always is that yes, we'll keep on doing better. So obviously you don't want to, you know, just do away with that. But that's the advice that, you know, I also keep on getting, saying that you're too invested in there. But that's fine, you know, I understand that. But you know, all the others, okay, people, the PPF will happen. You know, the voluntary provident fund, people, you know, keep on, a lot of my peers keep on saying that we invested in VPF, when a voluntary provident fund. And real estate. Now, real estate till, I would say, 15 years ago, would really give you good returns. It has stopped after that. So those who invested maybe 15, 20 years ago, yes, they made their money, or even now they can make money because they hardly paid anything. But investing right now is just not the right way. So it is an understanding of how the market has changed and how looking at money should change, how your outlook towards money should change, is extremely, extremely important.
I completely agree. You know, coming to one of the most important aspects for senior guys is, you know, as they approach retirement, then everybody starts wondering, have I done enough?
Yes.
You know, what am I supposed to think about? Of course, one is about what am I going to do when I retire, and then figuring out that do I have enough?
Yes.
Is my money going to outlive me, or am I going to outlive the money? Right? So the whole concept of, you know, diversifying and de-risking is the biggest thing. So the question to you coming is, when you are approaching retirement, or even if you're planning 20 years ahead, you know, when you're much younger,
Yeah.
what are all the things that you need to be aware of, and, you know, do you seriously need to give that a thought? And how would you, you know, kind of guide all your peers and your youngsters to think about this?
It is really important to do that. And, you know, if you start early enough, it helps you. And it will surely help you big time. There's no doubt about it. But as I said, as I have experienced also, you know, people are not too keen. You know, when they are just started work, or maybe 2-3 years down the line after they start working, they want to enjoy their money.
Right.
Though, you know, we'll keep on hearing stories from people saying, previously I used to say that I'll spend money and whatever is left I'll invest. Now at least if somebody is talking about saying, no, you decide how much you're going to invest and then spend the balance money.
Right.
So, you know, the outlook has to change. But how many people take that seriously? So that is something that youngsters need to appreciate, that they should start investing upfront.
Yeah.
It'll give them big benefits going forward. But as I said, you know, the job profile that you have many a times leaves very less time to put in some thought to this. And that is where you require somebody who will come in with minimal intervention, help you do that. Retirement planning is something which is really required. Retirement planning has to, you know, set you, and, you know, as the discussion that happened, saying, this is what I want to do, what are my objectives? Okay, obviously what I'm going to do after retirement, at the same time I'm going to move around, meet people, holiday, etc., and I need so much money for it. Now you define that clearly. It has to flow into how you're investing right now and what more do you need to do, or, you know, whether whatever you're doing is good enough.
Absolutely.
People are not aware.
True.
And again, I have so many people talking to me about solutions. But you really don't enjoy listening because they are not asking for your objectives. They are saying, this is what we can do for you. That's it. You give your money, we'll invest, and this is what we can do for you.
Yeah.
And you don't know how it's going to move.
True.
Whereas if it goes along with something that you have defined, saying this is what I want, and you are given a complete path towards achieving that, that will make a big difference.
Beautiful. So can you therefore elaborate on 2 pre and post MFA coming into your life? What would you say? How did it impact you?
As I mentioned even in the previous statements that I made, managing money takes something. And whatever qualifications you come with, you think that yes, you know it all. But when you start interacting with someone who gives you a different perspective to it, you really realize as to it's not that straightforward. And it needs a lot of research, it needs a lot of thought to go into it, and the right direction, which could be different for different individuals. And that is what MFA got for me. So once I started with MFA and all this came up, all the different investments that I had done, I went to Amar saying, this is what I have right now. And he took it under his wing, saying, okay, so let's look at that also and ensure that we bring this in that overall plan. So that is where the direction started coming in.
True.
And that is what has been greatly important to me. That I was always given proper input on this is what we will do with the existing investments that you have. This is where the problem is. This portfolio was just sold to you, okay, without a proper thought process whether it is something fit for you. So it also mattered as to how to create that fitment.
True.
So I could actually rely on the advice that came to me once that fitment happened on all the previous investments, saying yes, now it is making sense to me. The amazing thing was he came to me with the first SAS report, Salesforce report. And he said that you are one of the first ones to implement Salesforce. I was really amazed that even Salesforce wouldn't have thought that it will be used for something like this.
True.
And this was way back 14 years, possibly. Yeah. So amazing. And that report gave you a perspective of every investment, every transaction that happened on the investment. Made a big difference. So you started seeing the change.
Yeah.
So this is what has happened between pre-2005 and after, wherein I really knew where things were going. And if things are not going the right way, I would have someone from MFA call me and say, we need to change this.
Okay.
So it was not an irritant at all. It was not that I used to get calls every day, but once in a while I would first get a mail, which was a good thing. That I could take time to read it, and
right.
Then I could call and say that yes, fine, we can go ahead with this.
Perfect.
So that is the change, and that is something that people would appreciate according to me. That it doesn't become an irritant. It is not something that is done in the air and then you are left on your own. It is done with a specific thought process, the right direction that you go into. You have questions you can ask, which are answered. So now, after 17 years, or all these 17 years, I've seen handling of money the right way, and it giving me the kind of results that I would want going forward.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you for summarizing it so beautifully. Any parting thoughts to people, about that doing this the right way with the right person? How does it, really impact lives?
Very much. I would say that it gives you that peace of mind. That going forward, your money is going to yield something that will help you lead a better life, help you achieve certain objectives that you set for yourself. And it never would be a case wherein you are wanting much more and it's not available. And that is a satisfaction that you need much upfront, so that you go into retirement or anything that you want to do with so much ease.
True.
Without, really thinking that what's going to happen tomorrow.
Thank you so much. I'm sure this is going to be really, really helpful for a lot of our listeners, and people are going to genuinely appreciate you sparing this time and wisdom with.
My pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.